Hi, it's Cassey. Today I'm going to be taking you through one of my favorite free citation generators. I use it almost every day as a writing coach. It is called MyBib.com. If you haven't heard of it before, it is very similar to some of the other free citation generators that are out there, like EasyBib, for example. But in my opinion, MyBib takes it to a better, more professional level, and it's also easier to use. So we're going to be taking you through a quick tutorial for how to use it, and then we'll talk about some of the pros and cons of this service. This is what you will see when you first land on the site. Over here, you have the option to create a free account. If you choose to do that, it'll ask you for an email or a password, and will ask if you're a student or a teacher. Very easy, takes less than 30 seconds. You don't have to do this. I recommend it for people who will be using their sources for a long period of time. For example, a senior thesis that you're working on for months on end, or if you want to reuse your topic. So if you're in writing and research for the social sciences and you're going to be moving on to research methods and you want to keep your sources and your topic, then make an account. This will give it a nice safe place for it to stay. It auto saves and you can just come back to it over and over and over again and add to it as you go. But you don't have to. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure, once you make an account or not, or once you want to start, the first thing we want to do is make sure that you are in the right citation style that is required by your teacher for your class. The most popular is probably going to be APA. Right now we're on the 7th edition, but that's not the only option we have. Some teachers want MLA, some teachers want Chicago. They're all here. If you can't find it in the popular section up on top, then you can do a search for it down here. When you're ready for that, you're going to add a citation. So the most popular ones are up here, right on the top. But if you need a less popular source, then you have all of these options over here. So you can do an image, you can do a news article, anything pretty much. You can also have the option to write your own citation or copy and paste one. So for today's example, I'm going to do a YouTube video. So I'm just going to click on video, go to my source, copy it, and paste it in. Click search. And there it is right there. It says it's a probably credible source. Sometimes you'll see a little yellow dot and it'll say, ooh, is this a good source? Doesn't mean it's bad, and it's probably, hopefully, not going to cause any issues for you, but it's just something to be aware of, and they do vet sources for you to a certain extent. And there it is. And then, oh, it says we couldn't detect a web page author. And that's because, you know, a lot of YouTube people who upload to YouTube don't put their actual name. They will do kind of a company name. So we see that there is in fact an author. They are Mind Unveiled. So we'll say, yes, it does have an author. If it doesn't, that's fine too. You would just click no. And of course, it's not their full name. So you have the option to click this for a company or organization name. And you would do this also for something like a government organization or something like that, that doesn't, you know, have a human's name as an author. But we're just going to type in Mind Unveiled and click next. They also said they couldn't detect a date published. So we're going to go and look for that. It says it was uploaded a month ago. And if we hover, it says November 16th, 2022. So yes, it does have a date published. And it has a full date, so we are going to put the full date in. If it just has a year or no date at all, that's fine too. You would just click no and move on. Right, and there it is. And we have a little exclamation point telling me that there's something wrong with the formatting, and that's because in APA, they want their titles to be lowercased. So we're just going to click fix. You also have the option to just go down and fix all. So we can do that. And then I'm going to go in manually because they did this fun little caps lock thing on the YouTube video. So I'm just going to fix that really quick on my own. And there it is. And I'm also going to put the publisher as YouTube. And then there's a preview, and then you click save, and then it turns up all nice and formatted for you. I will point out that you do have to use, you know, your brain and have some kind of knowledge of APA formatting rules, because per the rules, I'm supposed to have the word video in brackets in between, I believe, the title and the web link. And there's no way for me to do that on MyBib, so I'm going to have to go back when I download it to my document and do it manually. But overall, this is what it looks like, and it looks really nice and pretty and formatted. So here's a completed example for you. I have a book, I have an article, like a scholarly journal article, I have the video, and then I have just a plain old web page. And you can add as many citations as you want. And when you are done, you can click download, and you have the option to download it to a Word document, your Google Docs. You can just copy and paste. You can print a hard copy, all of these things. You also have, if you click these dots here, you can merge documents. You can merge different projects. So like I said, if you're using these sources for multiple classes, you can merge. You can also change the color. If you like to color code, some people are into that. You have the option to go to dark mode, so it can be easier on your eyes. So you have a lot of ways to customize this to your preference. Now that we have gone through how to use MyBib, let's go through some of the pros and cons. So really quick with pros. First and foremost, it is free. You get a lot of bang for almost absolutely, actually, $0. You don't have to pay for this at all. I also love that there's no pop-up ads. They're not trying to sell you anything. Nothing's getting in your way when you're trying to do your work. It's just there and you do the stuff. I also like that it saves your work, especially if you make an account. It's always there for you. There is a slight learning curve to it, but overall, it's pretty simple to use once you have done 1 or 2 citations. You're like, oh yeah, I get it now. And it continues being just that simple. I also like that it prompts you. So if it sees something that might not be right, it'll ask you like, oh, is this right? And yeah, you have to go and check, but it'll, it's AI. No, it doesn't want, but it will at least ask you if something is right so you can double check. So that makes it pretty intuitive. I also like that you have all these customizable options for you to kind of make it your own as well. For the cons, are there cons? So maybe you have to use your brain a little bit if that's a con. So when it asked me to, fix the mistakes, and then I had to go in and manually change a couple of things. Yeah, I had to know what the conventions of the APA style were so that I could go and make those changes. And even then, like I said earlier, I would have to go in and manually add something in. So I needed to kind of know a little bit about my stuff and to make sure that it was right for my final project. But overwhelmingly, pros. I definitely recommend this. It's easy to use, it's free, and it's just a good tool to use, especially if you're just getting started in the academic writing world and are uncomfortable with creating your own citation. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you would like a more complete tutorial on how to use MyBib or any other writing assistance, make an appointment with us at the Writing and Academic Support Center. Our contact information is going to be on the screen over there. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.